Assalamu alaikum my YouTube family. Today we're making a favorite of mine. I used to eat it all the time when I was coming home from school. I always look forward to having these as a snack. Today we're making what look like stuffed bread, but they most closely resemble one of my favorite quick eats when I would come home from school, and that would be Hotpockets. So we have homemade Hotpockets. So let's start with the dough recipe. For our dough recipe, we will have 2.5 cups of flour, half a cup of corn flour, half a teaspoon of sugar, half a teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of dried yeast, and 1 cup of water. Once your dough is prepared, we're gonna go ahead and just knead the dough lightly with our hands. Just fold it over, and then we're gonna divide the dough into 3 parts. We're gonna go ahead and set aside 2 of the dough pieces for later, and we're just gonna work with the first one here. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna roll out the dough into a big circle. It doesn't have to be perfect, and if the dough tears a bit, it's not a big deal. Make sure you use plenty of flour so that it doesn't stick. Once we have our big circle, we're gonna go ahead and spread some melted butter over the top of the dough. And don't be afraid to, put a lot of butter on it if you want a richer flavor. Go ahead and put a bit of flour on it, and we're gonna go ahead and fold it from one side 1/3 of the way in, and on top of that layer we're gonna put more butter and just a little bit of flour so it doesn't stick. Now we'll fold the other third on top of that with more butter and some more flour. We're gonna then fold it over from the top, put more butter, more flour, and then roll it from the bottom to the top, again in 1/3 increments. And we're gonna go ahead and press it down just with our fingers, just to make it just slightly bigger. And you want to do that for all 3 of your dough pieces. And here we have already prepared the rest of them, and they should look something like this. Now as you can see, as we go through them, they're all folded over. This is to create the nice layers and a good amount of flakiness when we actually bake it. So now we're gonna roll it out. We'll put flour on one side so it doesn't stick. We'll roll it out into a shape of a square. Just keep remembering to use flour so it doesn't stick to your rolling pin. Once we have our square, we have our mixture. For our mixture, we're going to fill it with some chicken, coriander, and cheese. And you can do it by just starting on one side and putting the filling on one side of the dough. We'll roll it halfway in, and we'll roll it just a little bit forward, as you'll see in a second. Just like that. Now what we'll do is we'll take a knife and we'll make some diagonal slits all the way across the other side towards the top. Roll the dough over that, and you'll see when you turn it around you have these beautiful kind of layers and cuts, and you don't have to worry about the filling falling out of there. And don't forget to press the edges of the dough so that it does not pop open. So we're gonna go ahead and just look at a quick montage of us making the rest of them. You can use any type of filling you want. You could use just plain cheese. You could use cheese and tomato, which is a classic flavor of Hot Pockets. You can use any type of meat that you like. This is something that the kids will love, and they'll appreciate the homemade flavor much better because it has our own flavors and spices, which we can make to our own taste. We're going ahead and making the final one, the third one, and so we decided to add just a little extra cheese in this one. Remember to roll it over. Don't forget the slits, and roll it over just like that. Now we're going to go ahead and put all of these on a baking tray with some flour and brush it with just egg yolks. Brush it with some seasoned egg yolks. We use salt, pepper, and red chili powder. And get between all those little cracks we made, all the slits. Just remember to try to use up all your egg yolk. There's flavor in all that, and it'll give it a beautiful color when it's baked. Now we're going to cover it with some sesame seed. This is completely optional, but it adds some great flavor and texture in every bite that we take. And this was something that I felt like Hot Pocket could have added, but they never did, so we're kind of one-upping Hot Pocket at that point. And as you can see, it looks beautiful. We're going to go ahead and put it in the oven. So we're going to put it for 30 to 35 minutes at 350 degrees Fahrenheit or 175 degrees Celsius, or until golden brown. So let's take a look at what we have. And they look amazing. We're like in a rush to grab it. We want to take it out and consume it as fast as possible. And there you go. There's that golden color, all those sesame seeds. Looks absolutely delicious. So let's go ahead and look at the cross section and take a look at what's inside of all these Hot Pockets. You can fill it with more or less if you want, but it looks absolutely delicious. It's a beautiful kind of fluffy, crispy texture. And you can see the flakiness on the edge of those of the bread right there. It's extremely well cooked at the bottom, very crispy, but soft and yummy on the inside. So I want to thank you guys so much for watching. If you guys enjoyed the video, please remember to like, share, and subscribe. And leave a comment and let us know what you think of the recipe and how it turned out for you. Have a good one. Take care. Allah Hafiz.